Good day, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. And today I'm doing a solo video as Gilbert Earl Jr. has not read this book yet. And today we're going to be talking about Red Tigress by Amelie Wen Zhao. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. And if you're the author and you're one of the 4 people who sees this video, please forgive me if I chopped up your name pretty badly. But I will have the name spelled correctly and the title. So if you're interested in reading this book, it is the sequel to The Blood Heir. And I'm just going to give my opinion on the book, and hopefully you guys find it useful. And then the second part of the video will be sharing some spoilers, some parts I like. To me, this is a very well written. It's better than The Blood Heir, in my opinion. It's hard to put the book down. Every chapter leaves it suspenseful for you to want to continue reading. The previous book, The Blood Heir, to me it was good. It did have some of its down moments, but this book right here, it was easy for me to get through. Didn't like not reading it. Put it down. I think one thing that helped me on this was that the chapters were shorter. I'm somebody who likes to read from chapter to chapter. I don't like stopping in the middle of a chapter. So having shorter chapters helped a lot, and there's a lot in each chapter, and so that's one of the pluses I liked. Also, another thing I liked about this book is, unlike Blood Heir, this one had 4 different, well, I'll take that back, about maybe 5, I'm trying to think at the top of my head, point of views, which was really good. To get different perspectives. The Blood Heir mainly focuses on Anna and Ramson. This one we get both Anna and Ramson's point of view, as well as some additional characters that we met who played minor roles in the first book, and that would be Lynn. We get her point of view, and then I'm trying to think of who else's point of view. We get some names I can't really pronounce. We get one chapter with Shamara. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She gets a chapter, a point of view, and trying to think of something I don't really remember. But anyways, this one is really good. It leads off right where the first one left off, where Anna is trying to find some allies. She's trying to find a group of rebels to help her retake her throne from Margesa. And we find that Margesa's rule is very tyrannical and very oppressive, especially to those who mistreated those who had special powers. They call them, hopefully I pronounce the word right, affinities. If you mistreated them, she's really cruel to you, and she kind of rules with the iron fist. And so, and this book kind of explores kind of a paradox for Anna. At the beginning, I'm not giving up too much of the plot, but a way somebody talks about, gives her an idea that no matter who is in charge, if the empress or the ruler is evil, that they could really do terrible things to their citizens and suppress them, and that they are looking that it would be better if the government was ruled by the people and then by one ruler. So this is kind of plays in Anna's mind on and off as she makes her journey trying to get allies. We get to see more of Ramson's home country and its workings. And to me, I got a feeling that once we get to the 3rd book, that or at the end of the series, to me, I'm just going to speculate. It's going to be, if Anna gets her throne and wins, it's going to be more ran kind of like how Ramson's country is. How you have your king, and then you have 3 governments, 3 different governments, and each one has kind of like a check and balance kind of thing. So you kind of see the influence of America's government in this being played out. This is a very good written book. You get more insight on Anna and Ramson's and their feelings and how their motives and how their beliefs are being tested in this. I think this is probably one of the best or perfect middle books of a trilogy, as it goes into more depth of what the first book has left us, and then it ends off with this doubting that if Anna will actually be able to return and get her throne back. It's a lot of question marks. Those who she thinks is her friends turn out might not be her friends, and I don't want to go too far for that right now. I'll go once I get to the spoiler part. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, so I think this is if you like Red Air, you'll definitely like Red Tigress. If you thought the Blood Air was, I'm sorry, I said Red Air, but the Blood Air was, was okay. I would definitely give this a try for the Red Tigress. I think it's superior to the Blood Air. The author really improves her craft in this book. She talks about at the end how it's only her second book and how much harder it was for her to write it. And I think her hard work really pays off in this, as you can see her improvement in her writing style greatly improves in this book, and you'll enjoy it. So, on this channel we usually give, 1 of 3 marks, either recommend it, recommend with caution, or not recommend at all. I definitely recommend this book. And one thing about this book, when you read a lot of sequels to, or a lot of the second book of a series, the author does a great job of explaining what happened in the first book, and sometimes you don't even have to read the first book to understand the second book. This isn't so much the case in this one. I guess what I'm trying to refer to, like the first time I read Song of Ice and Fire, or the Game of Thrones series by George Martin, I actually started with the second book. Just because I like the title, The Clash of Kings, and I didn't realize that I was reading a sequel until maybe halfway through when I was telling somebody about it, and they said, have you read the Game of Thrones, which was the first book? And I didn't really realize it because George Martin was throughout writing it. He explained the events of the first book so well that I didn't really need to read the first book. So I kind of read the second book, third book, and I think I had like 4 books read at that time before I went back and read the first book. And I didn't really miss much, just how he was able to give synopsis throughout the storytelling of what happened and why things are. This is not really the case of the Red Tigress. If you read the Red Tigress, while she does make some references to the first book, you would probably be lost on what is really going on, as is this my personal opinion. So I would suggest reading the Blood Air before you jump into the Red Tigress if you haven't read the first book. Just so you know the traveling and what her and Ramson's gone through. And because this one, Red Tigress, Ramson and Anna has really gotten to know each other. They trust each other. If you read the first book, you realize that throughout 3/4 of the book, she didn't really trust him at all, and he was basically always betraying her a lot of times through that book, or not being completely honest. And by the time you get to this book, they have complete trust with each other. So I do recommend this book, and then just do some spoilers, some parts I liked. I'm going to jump to the end, and then I'll work my way back. But what makes this book really good is that it really gives you doubt, and wants you to know how is she going to be able to conquer the throne, because the author really leaves Anna completely alone at the end. None of her friends are following her back to her home country after she leaves the country, that Ramson's country. She's going back alone. Ramson's going off to find his half-sister, who is trying to, first he's trying to kill her, but she's trying to enslave other people with powers, or steal their powers to use for the Morgases, I guess, be at this times. Morgases, so Morgase can use her to accomplish her goals. And then Lynn and to meet another character. Oh man, his name is escaping me right now. Kais. It's K-A-I-S. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, so you're going to be going to Lynn's home country. She's going to be an ambassador there to help the people with affinity powers there, and she's basically a ambassador for Anna. And so basically Anna only has the sea captain who took her over to Ramson's country with her, And then the people that she thinks is going to help her, we find out at the end that they have totally gone to the side where they don't believe that there should be a empress or emperor anymore. That they should be ruled, the kingdom should be ruled by the people. And her friend Yuri, who she thinks is his friend, her friend has basically commanded his second in charge to kill Anna when she comes back. So it's going to be interesting how she's going to be able to reclaim the throne. But at least this time she does have like 1,000 soldiers under her command. And as far as she knows, the people, and as far as we know, the people still support her over the other rebels that are controlled by Yuri. So that, I think that's very good. That the second book is supposed to, continue with the first book, solve some of the questions that you have with the first book, and then going into the third book, you're supposed to have this idea, this doubt or this fear that she's not going to be able to succeed. In this case, I think the author does a great job in doing that, trying to figure out how, and it's not a clear closed case that Anna's going to be able to succeed in this. And then how, if she does succeed, if she does succeed and overthrow Morgase, I'm guessing she will. What kind of government will she have? Will she rule over the people? And then basically what's going to happen to her. I really enjoy, in this book also, Anna and Ramson, they're not really together as much. They're separated a lot. I think that was a good idea for the author to do, get to explore these characters alone, and we got to see like their own motivations, and we still get to see that they care for each other. But then at the end, they're going to their separate ways, and I kind of feel like, when I was doing this, that Ramson was kind of more closer to the sea captain that brought him over. That woman who brought him over there, she was closer to her than she was actually to Anna at the end. And Anna and the king of Ramses' country had more in common, because he was having people trying to overtake him. Just the way that her family lost her crown was how people were trying to take over their crown. They seemed to be more compatible there at the end than her and Ramson. So it'd be interesting to see if her and Ramson actually ends up together in the end. I've got a feeling that eventually they're going to be running into the same path, because his half-sister's probably running over to Morgase, who is the empress of Anna's country, because that's who she's working for right now. So I imagine probably maybe halfway through that book, they're going to reunite, but we'll see. Looking forward to it. That's off the top of my head my favorite parts. I was kind of sad to see her lose her powers, which is going to make it really interesting, her losing her powers, because now I was kind of looking forward to seeing her powers, which is the blood. She's able to, feel people's blood and use blood. And then Morgase's power is all about the flesh, and seeing those kind of going after each other as a final battle thing. But I know unless they replace her powers in this third book, we're not going to get to see that. Kind of disappointed. But it does see. But I mean, she's going to be very vulnerable going into this third book, so that's what's interesting. And she's got to use her mind and strategy a lot more than just her fierce power and physical ability. Which we've seen her be able to do this throughout the two books. That she is very capable of using politics and strategy into getting her accomplishing her goals. So I hope you enjoy this. Pick up Red Tigress. I believe you'll enjoy it a lot, and hope everybody has a great day. And leave a like, and please leave a comment of what you liked about the book if you've read it, and what you didn't like, and subscribe our channel. We do this. We do review books. We review movies. Every once in a while we'll put down a gaming video. We do a little bit of all, and then things that we are interested in, we'll look up and see what news is about what's coming out and any rumors about upcoming titles and such. Have a great day, and hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.